What if ancient artifacts weren't just old, but impossibly advanced? A clay mask with no mouth, a Roman cup that changes colour, a 2,000-year-old object that looks like a smartphone. These aren't myths. They're real discoveries that challenge everything we thought we knew. Stick around, because history might be stranger than fiction. In a quiet corner of northeast Bulgaria, archaeologists unearthed something eerily captivating: the Mouthless mask of Provadiya. Found in the ancient settlement of Provadiya Solnitsata, also known as the Salt Pit, this 6,000-year-old clay artifact isn't just old, it's mystifying. Roughly triangular in shape and carved from a single piece of clay, the mask features two deep elliptical eyes, a prominent stylized nose, and polished eyebrows that give it a strangely human feel. But it's what's missing that grabs attention: a mouth. The absence is no accident. According to archaeologist Professor Vasil Nikolov, this design choice might have emphasized the eyes as symbols of insight, wisdom, or surveillance, attributes of authority in a society driven by salt trade and early social hierarchies. This settlement was one of Europe's earliest known towns, thriving from prehistoric salt production. Salt, then more valuable than gold, created a booming economy, and where there's wealth, there's power. The mask could have been worn by elites or shamans to reflect status, or perhaps to invoke control through silent observation. Small holes on the ears suggest it was worn or displayed, possibly as a pendant, ritual object, or even part of a ceremonial costume. It could have represented a deity, a tribal leader, or a symbolic figure meant to watch in silence. Its resemblance to artifacts from the nearby Vinca culture adds weight to the idea of a shared symbolic language among prehistoric Balkan societies. But the truth? Still unknown. No written records, no instructions. Just a mask staring back at us, unblinking, mouthless, and full of questions. Was it a protective charm? A silent god? A symbol of the unspoken? What's certain is that this small piece of clay has become a giant question mark in the timeline of European civilization. And in its silence, it says more than any words possibly could. In the dim glow of a Roman palace, a goblet shifts from green to red as it's turned toward the light. No, it's not magic. It's the Lycurgus Cup, a 4th century Roman chalice that defies everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. Housed today in the British Museum, this glass masterpiece stunned scientists when, in the 1990s, they discovered its secret: nanotechnology. The glass contains particles of gold and silver just 50 nanometers wide, about 1,000 times thinner than a human hair. These nanoparticles react to light by manipulating how electrons move, creating the illusion of changing color based on how light hits it. This is what scientists call dichroic glass. But how the Romans managed to embed nanoparticles into glass over 1,600 years ago remains a mind-boggling mystery. Did they understand what they were doing? Or was it a happy accident passed down by generations of artisans? Either way, the result is both stunning and scientifically astounding. The implications go beyond art. Inspired by the cup, modern researchers have mimicked its structure to create ultra-sensitive liquid sensors. These sensors can detect biological markers in blood, spot dangerous substances in airport security, or monitor environmental changes like water purity or air quality. In essence, an ancient Roman artifact paved the way for real-world 21st century technology. Yet questions remain. Was the cup ceremonial or purely aesthetic? It depicts the myth of King Lycurgus entangled by vines, perhaps a warning, a lesson in hubris, or a celebration of divine punishment. Its cultural symbolism runs just as deep as its technical marvel. One thing is certain, the Lycurgus Cup isn't just a piece of art. It's evidence of a level of material science we assumed was impossible in the ancient world. And if the Romans had access to this kind of innovation, what else might be buried beneath centuries of dust, waiting to be rediscovered? In 1936, British Egyptologist Walter Emery uncovered a tomb in Saqqara, Egypt, belonging to Prince Sabu, son of Pharaoh Anajib from Egypt's first dynasty, around 3000 BC. What he found inside was an artifact that continues to defy explanation: the Disc of Sabu. Carved from a single piece of schist, a fragile, brittle stone, the disc measures about 24 inches in diameter and features 3 intricately curved lobes surrounding a central hub. It resembles a mechanical part more than a ceremonial object, and its design raises more questions than answers. Mainstream Egyptologists have theorized that it may have served as a decorative incense holder, a ceremonial vessel, or a piece of symbolic art. But the material's fragility and the disc's precise symmetry complicate these interpretations. Schist isn't easy to shape, especially not into something this thin and detailed. Creating it would have required advanced tools and extraordinary care, raising the question, who made it and how? Alternative researchers have proposed more daring ideas. Some believe the Disc of Sabu could have been part of a primitive centrifugal pump, or a device used to manage fluids in rituals or engineering processes. When 3D printed replicas were tested in controlled environments, they demonstrated unexpected aerodynamic properties. Even more fringe theories suggest it may be a stone model of a high-tech or even extraterrestrial device, something meant to replicate complex machinery far beyond the means of ancient Egypt. However, there's no evidence it was ever functional. No wear marks, no inscriptions, no secondary pieces that would suggest mechanical assembly. It's a single, stand-alone enigma. But it's also far too engineered looking to dismiss as mere coincidence or decorative flair. The disc was found in a tomb, possibly as a funerary object. Could it have symbolized something spiritual, a representation of movement, transformation, or even the soul's journey through the afterlife? Ancient Egyptians were masters of metaphor and symbolism. Perhaps this disc had cosmic significance we've yet to understand. To this day, no similar object has ever been discovered in Egypt or beyond. That makes the Disc of Sabu a true outlier, one that doesn't fit neatly into any category. It's a powerful reminder that the further back we look into history, the more we realize how much we still don't know, and how easy it is to underestimate the brilliance, curiosity, and complexity of ancient minds. In 1974, a group of farmers digging a well near Xi'an, China, stumbled upon one of the most astonishing archaeological discoveries of the 20th century, the Terra-Cotta Army. Buried for over 2 millennia, thousands of life-sized clay soldiers stood in silent formation, guarding the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. But beneath their stoic expressions lies a technological marvel. Recent analyses of the statues and surrounding artifacts have revealed a sophisticated production system that mirrors modern mass manufacturing. Scientists discovered that artisans mixed local clays with sand to enhance durability and added organic materials, possibly rice husks or plant fibers, to make cores lighter and easier to fire. Each soldier appears unique, yet many parts were modular: arms, hands, heads, assembled like components on an assembly line. Different workshops likely specialized in specific parts, with master sculptors adding personalized details at the end. Some facial features even show signs of individual carving, suggesting a blend of mass production and artisan finishing, a remarkable combination of uniformity and identity. The kilns used to fire the statues operated at lower temperatures than previously believed, around 750 degrees Celsius, indicating refined firing techniques and deep knowledge of materials. Bricks, statues, and even bronze ducks found nearby were crafted using tailored clay recipes for different structural needs. Even the weapons showed signs of standardized casting, with serial numbers and batch codes, possibly for quality control purposes. The scale is almost unfathomable. Over 700,000 workers are believed to have contributed to this project, producing more than 7,000 soldiers, 600 horses, 100 chariots, and countless weapons. It wasn't just a monument, it was a statement of absolute power, eternal protection, and imperial authority in the afterlife. Qin Shi Huang wasn't building a tomb, he was constructing an empire beneath the earth, a parallel world designed to mirror his dominion in life. What's more fascinating is the organization behind it. The empire's centralized bureaucracy and legalist philosophy translated into a complex production network, showcasing not just artistry, but industrial efficiency centuries ahead of its time. In essence, the Terra-Cotta Army was as much an industrial feat as it was an artistic one. These clay warriors weren't meant to be seen. They were buried underground, invisible to the living. Yet their silent presence continues to speak volumes about the ambition, ingenuity, and might of an empire determined to conquer death itself. History isn't just written in books, it's buried in the dirt, waiting to shock us. If you're into ancient mysteries and mind-blowing discoveries, hit like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications. More secrets from the past are just around the corner.